video for y'all today. I never gave y'all a SHROOMBAE origin story, so here we are. Number one, I gave y'all the first time that I ever did shrooms video, and that was cool. The second time I did shrooms, I told y'all about it, and I was with my brother. The third time that I really did shrooms, I was with my best friend, got into a car accident, and that car accident really fucked me up. For those of y'all that don't know, back in 2020, I was involved in a car accident. My car spun out on the expressway. I suffered a lot of bruising, a concussion. I was off work for like 2 months. I was having concussive headaches. I was having stress headaches. On top of already being a migraine sufferer since I was like 10 years old. I was having a hard time reading. Math was hard. I had to relearn math. I didn't necessarily have to teach myself how to read all over again, but reading was hard. Putting my thoughts together was hard. Communicating was hard. By the time my birthday rolled around, me and my best friend, we do shrooms. She came to Chicago like, you almost just died. Like, we finna turn the fuck up for your birthday. So, that's what we do. She get a room, and I spend the whole weekend with her. I do shrooms with her, and although I was having a very hard time getting my words out, she was just so patient with me. Like, it restarted something in me that was just so good. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I can fuck with this. Like, the restorative nature of mushrooms, I feel like that's where I could say that I first felt it. Granted, all of my other experiences have been positive so far, but when it comes to like a life-changing experience, I would have to say that was the start of it. There was also another friend that was there. Having him and my best friend there, the way I was able to get my thoughts out, collect my thoughts, express myself, tell somebody how frustrated I actually was and what I was having a hard time with, and for that to be received well, I was like, okay, yeah, this might be play. After that, I'm off of work for like 2 months because I can't control the number of stress and concussive and migraine headaches that I'm having. The stress headache could turn into a migraine real fast. And at the time, I was working at the airport, which means that I'm around things that are loud, I'm around people that are loud, I'm around engines, I'm around a lot of noise. On top of the fact that I also had a crew chief qualification, which essentially means that I'm like in charge of people and dishing out work and all this stuff like that. And I'm also going to be primarily in front of some type of screen for an extended period of time, if not my entire shift. And so I spent those 2 months healing, reading a lot of books, practicing math, really just trying to comb through all of my fine motor skills. That was a journey within itself. It was a lot. That week after my birthday, my ex had came to kick it with me for the weekend because she's like, no, I want to celebrate your birthday with you. Like, I didn't know about last weekend. If y'all would have told me, I would have came, but it's okay. I'm going to come next weekend. Okay, cool. He comes that next weekend, and the relief that I felt from finally being able to express myself with my best friend and with Tyler, it was kind of like that was still going. The conversation that we had, it was just so refreshing. Okay, so I know y'all probably like, what do that got to do with you being SHROOMBAE and how does that tie in? Well, it ties in for a number of reasons. Number one, it just made me realize all the things that I was having a hard time with post-car accident. And all the things in comparison to what I was struggling with when I was actively on shrooms. And so once I realized that, one, I was having a hard time with math. 2, reading was a little, it was a little iffy. 3, I'm having a hard time with coordination. Because when I got cleared to go back to work, I also got cleared to dance as long as like I was working myself up to it and not just jumping back into it all the way. I'm realizing all these things that I need to work on, and I was just like, okay, we finna start doing all this stuff on shrooms just to see the difference. We finna start integrating and seeing if there's a difference. Starting from there, it was a growing curiosity, like how many things can I improve or be better at or be fully functional off of while I am also integrating mushrooms into whatever I'm doing. And so I'm like, okay, if that slicks like a superpower, let me just, you know what I'm saying? Let me just tap into it. After lot of medically driven tests and different ways that people were having these discussions, and also all the different variations of people and their issues and what they were using these mushrooms for. It got me curious about stuff. It got me curious about functional mushrooms. It got me curious even more about psychedelics, because I'm just like, if this is what I struggle with, I can't be the only person who's ever struggled with this. I also can't be the only person who is looking for some type of, I don't want to call it a solve, because it's not a solve, and it's also not a cure, but I can't be the only person who is looking for some type of aid in overcoming all these things that I'm having a hard time with, cognitively and fine motor based and all these things, right? A lot of those things were lessened. The weight was a lot less heavy when I was integrated versus when it wasn't. So I was like, okay, maybe I should start incorporating this a lot more. I'm at home one day. I am watching a documentary, and I am also packing for a trip. The documentary that I'm watching is about shamanism and the ways in which people are helping others integrate as well. And there was something that just kind of stuck out to me that was just like, everything that you want is on the other side of here. And I have been contemplating for such a long time about what it was that I should be doing, because I just felt that there was an additional responsibility that I had. Whether that responsibility be sharing the information, coaching others, or some extra added layer of work that was just necessary because I felt like there was a need. And so, out of sheer randomness, I have been contemplating about whether I should post content about mushrooms. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna step on the other side of here. I had this video where I ate about 4 to 6 grams of mushrooms in under 60 seconds. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just post it and see what happens. I want to start the conversation, and that should start the conversation. Good, bad, or indifferent. It should start a conversation. So I post that video on Facebook. Post the video and I get off. That same day, I was linking up with my cousins to go eat some food at a restaurant they'd never been to. We went to a daiquiri bar. That whole time, I wasn't really on my phone. Like, I got off of my phone after I posted it. I got dressed. You know what I'm saying? I had also did some shrooms while I was watching it. And I left out the house and went to go kick it with them. And then something tells me, like, get on Facebook. I ignored it. We go to this daiquiri bar, and it's people in this daiquiri bar that's like, that's her right there. I swear to God, she looked just like this girl in this video. I'm hearing it, but you know, I'm out of my business. I don't know what video they talking about. We in Chicago, a lot of stuff going on here, whatever. And so then somebody come up to me like, I see your video on Facebook, you crazy. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, this ain't you? And I was like, oh, that is me. Right? So I finally get on Facebook on my phone. Video is going up. Okay? On my SHROOMBAE highlight reel on Instagram, I compiled all of like a bunch of screenshots, because once I noticed that the video was going up, I started screenshotting it in comparison to the amount of time. Well, the video got up to like 400,000 views in less than 24 hours. The conversation was started, okay? The conversation, good and started. Facebook took the video down. People was reporting it. People was commenting on it. I mean, it was so many comments, I couldn't even keep up. Then, I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, okay, I had my little viral moment, whatever. But I'm like, okay, maybe I need to post this on other platforms, because I had already been putting out videos with mushroom content, but they just wasn't doing no numbers. I didn't feel like I was getting no traction for real off of the videos just yet. But I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna trip. Now, I go home that night, and I'm laying in my bed, and I'm like, Lord, I don't know what's gonna happen, but whatever it is, I'm ready for it. Come on. Like, I'm gonna do the work, meet me halfway. I don't got it on Twitter, but pull up, like, send somebody who knew got it, right? And that was my prayer, and I went to sleep. I get up the next morning, I hop on Twitter, and my mentions is blowing up. And I'm like, wait a minute. Although I said send somebody who could do the work, that's literally what happened. Like, I don't got it on Twitter. I'm not You know what I'm saying? I be on Twitter, but like I don't got no motion on Twitter for it. So I'm just like, oh, thank the Lord, right? The video on Twitter going viral. People start tagging me. They're like, I know her. This is such and such, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, cool. The word does for me. Amen. That's what I'm talking about, big dog. That video get up to like 1 million, and then I want to say the next day, the same thing on Instagram, but celebrities was reposting my videos. Now, I'm not one of them people who like star crazy, you know what I'm saying? Celebrities are people too, but they do got way more of a bigger reach. People get to tagging me, my Instagram started going crazy. My Instagram high-key was going crazy already because of the Facebook, and people was tagging me like, hey, you going up on Facebook, blah, blah, whatever. So then people started running to my Instagram as well. My Instagram was going up on the follower side, but not from the video being posted on Instagram. Well, that day after Twitter, all the Instagram people came, you know what I mean? And I really feel like that's where it came from, right? So on Twitter is where I got dubbed SHROOMBAE. This girl who a journalist, she was like, I saw this viral video, blah, blah, whatever. She was like, so then when people started tagging me, she found my page, and she was like, I found SHROOMBAE. And I was like, SHROOMBAE, that's interesting. I like it, accepting that, I'll claim it. And so that's where the name came from. A journalist on Twitter dubbed me SHROOMBAE. So I'm like, okay, cool. I ran with it. I started meeting people. I wish I could have went up on TikTok, because that would have buzzed. Y'all already know I got a chokehold on TikTok real good, okay? TikTok would have snatched my whole account, and I'm like, no, I've already restarted my account, started a travel page, ran that up too, and I'm just like, okay, let's keep the TikTok intact, but I do make TikTok mushroom content, so there's no worries there. People know who I am, but just not from the video itself. Okay, cool. I run with the name. I started meeting a lot of people. People are reaching out to me. People who want to collab. People who want to do a lot of things, okay? They like, oh my God, I want to do shows with you. Woo! Slow down, bookies. Slow down. This is a sacred space, and I got to keep it like that, right? But also, too, during that whole time, it was just like, I had to make sure that the aim of the space that I was looking to create as it pertains to the SHROOMBAE brand was maintained. And then that is rooted in learning, journey sharing, and positivity. So I'm like, you know what? That's what I want it to be. That's what I'm going to keep it at, right? And so that was like 2021, if I'm being honest. That was like 2021. We are in 2024 now. We are in the end of 2024. And moving into 2025, there are a lot of things that are going to like change, continue, and expand, right? So, SHROOMBAE currently, these are the two important letters. Yeah. Okay, and I'm like, okay, period, girl. What is all encompassing of that, right? So SHROOMBAE is an education brand. There will be more functionality tested. There will be more experiments. There will be a lot of harm reduction. I am not a fan of abuse first, balance later. 2 thumbs down, 0 out of 10, do not recommend. But it is going to expand into a lot of consulting as well, a lot of integration coaching, a lot of events. I did throw my first like undercover little event. It was called TRIIIIIIPPPPP, and it was a very intimate space. It was very chill. It was very cool. People who came to it said they enjoyed it and they loved it. And so I do look forward to having more of those. I also this year did collaborate with another mushroom brand, and we did a workshop that was very educational. And I have done other workshops before but never collaborated with one. And so the collaboration was good because there was just a balance of opinions that were not pre-discussed, but we was all on the same page just because there's a level of experience that the three of us had that was just unmatched. And it was something that hadn't been done. So we did it. I love that the most. I like doing workshops. I like doing seminars. I've done seminars as well that are rooted in different things. Me being SHROOMBAE is more than psychedelic based. It is also expanding into foraging and functional mushrooms. And eventually, I do want to grow my own mushrooms. Like, I'm getting to that point. I love the idea of just growing my own food, and I like that there are so many health benefits with so many different mushrooms. And so tapping into that exploration is gonna be a thing for me. I've also already written a SHROOMBAE crash course and harm reduction crash course. That is an ebook. It is available on my website, and I do highly encourage people to purchase it. Some people don't have the time to sit here and watch all the videos in my playlist because we close to 100 videos on the shroom material. Exciting, but I get that everybody don't have the time to sit and watch all those videos. All the stuff that you need to know is in that ebook. Buy the ebook. I also have free little e-pamphlets that talk about different things that are mushroom related. Some that talk about foraging, some that talk about buying functional mushrooms, some that talk about unpacking, some that talk about good places to start to do research and documentaries and where you can watch them and what they're about. Like, I have put in a lot of work in this silent year that I've had for a number of reasons, but this year coming up, I'm coming out swinging, and I'm coming out with a whole lot of stuff. The plan is to give y'all content after content after content. I want to also start talking about what recipes I am putting together that are just mushroom based. I am not vegetarian, I am not vegan, but I do like a lot of vegan and vegetarian recipes just because they are so vegetable heavy. I love that, especially because I can substitute a lot of meat for mushrooms, and that's a thing for me. As I'm getting older, my body is changing, and I'm realizing that different things make me feel different ways, and my diet is one of those things, and if it makes me feel good, I want to share that as well. There's a lot more coaching that I want to do. There are a lot more conversations that I want to start, and a lot more conversations that I want to have in healthy spaces with people who are ready to do the work. They are ready to learn. They're ready to just take it all in and be in sponge mode. Even if they never use it on themselves, even if they never apply it to their life, they still have the valuable information and they are willing to invest in that knowledge. We also have Mushie Buddy merch. And guess what else? Mushie Buddy? Yeah! Mushie Buddy is an apparel brand, right? I love making clothes. Whatever I see that I want, I usually want to make it mine, and if it's not already mine, then guess what? We finna get in the lab and we finna do that. So I have made a good number of custom one-of-one mushroom clothing items, and I enjoy making them for myself. I get a lot of compliments on them, so I'm like, why not make a business out of it? So those are also available on my website. Some of the stuff y'all see me wearing is just for me, but some stuff is gonna be just for you. The vintage Mushie Buddy bucket originals are on the site, and yes, shout out to the people who already have them. I sold them at TRIIIIIIPPPPP. Quite a few people bought a hat, and thank y'all for the support on that. My OG Mushie Buddies, that's what I'm gonna call y'all. If y'all got a hat, you are an OG Mushie Buddy. Okay, so period, 2 trademarks, clothing, ebooks, seminars, workshops, consulting, recipes, foraging. I mean, what else is there? It's a lot more, but y'all gonna have to wait for that. Y'all gonna have to wait for that. Cultivation is coming, the culinary aspect is coming, and eventually conferences and panels. I want to do those as well, so those are on the to-do list. This has been my SHROOMBAE origin story. I hope that this has given you some type of insight. I want to create a space and a brand that is just focused on functionality testing, harm reduction, and being informed, and SHROOMBAE as an education brand is exactly that. As I'm learning, as I'm growing, I hope that y'all will also go and grow with me. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I will catch y'all on the flip side. Peace out, Mushie Buddy.